Well, you understand as much probably as anybody about the science and the medicine of this. Why has there not been a cure for cancer so far?
It depends how you define cure. I think there's a couple ways to I mean, to me, if a young kid never picks up a cigarette, never starts smoking, and never gets lung cancer, he's been cured. We cured him.
Okay.
He never had the disease. Early detection, screening, catch this disease early. We know that you have higher success rates. You cure people a lot. Access to care. So, people in the poor communities or the less fortunate communities in America that don't get the proper care or the care that they deserve, they don't make it. Meanwhile, 2 miles away in the wealthy suburb or in the, New York City is a perfect example. Midtown Manhattan, wealthy investment banker, gets advanced colon cancer, goes to Sloan Kettering, cured. 2 miles away in the heart of Harlem, you get an African American man who's works in the grocery store and he gets the same disease, he dies 3 months later. That's not right. So, but again, that's how you cure it. So you cure by prevention, you cure by early detection and screening, you cure by access to care, you cure by research, which is what people really love to hear about research. That's the number one question.
Right.
How about research? I mean, that's people love that.
Right.
And then you cure people also later on in their life after they've survived the disease and they may have other issues due to the effects of the treatment or the therapy.
Right. It's hard to imagine the other side, if there is an other side on this ballot initiative, messaging against spending money to help people with cancer or to prevent people from getting cancer.
I think there are people that are just against bond initiatives. They're against borrowing money. They say, no, we're not going to borrow money. It's not the state's responsibility.
You expect it'll pass?
I do, yeah. Yeah, I do. I really, well, number one, I hope it does.
Right.
And I think about it all the time. I work on it all the time. And I think it'll pass. But I think it needs to pass with a lot of success. I think it needs to pass big.
Okay.
I hope.
You hope. We all hope. This is not the only bit of politicking on behalf of this cause you have done recently. You were in Iowa a few weeks ago. You had a forum. It was your first forum with presidential candidates from both parties, those who attended.
Right.
And it wasn't all of them.
No.
To talk about this issue,
especially
to answer
on one
questions.
side.
Well, I want to ask you about that because name the people who were there. I believe there were a few Democrats who were there.
So we had Senator Clinton, Senator Edwards, Governor Richardson, and Representative Kucinich.
Right.
And then on the Republican side, you had Governor Huckabee and Senator Brownback.
And that was it.
Was it on the Republican side?
Right. Now, were there not Republican candidates for president who themselves are cancer survivors?
Well, you have, obviously, Senator McCain, Mayor Giuliani, cancer survivors.
Senator Thompson.
Not yet he had not declared. And I spoke to all of these guys, and I had actually a very, except for Giuliani, never got called back.
I'm just going to sit here and let that say.
Sorry, got distracted.
Yeah. But what did they say? Because
Senator Thompson was great. He was great, but he wasn't in the race. And you know what I thought was a disappointment that Senator McCain, cancer survivor, didn't come. But at the same time, this isn't the last talk we'll have about it.
Right.
With those guys and a gal. I think the goal now is when we get down to the two picks, then we have another forum and we talk about it.
And so you're not done doing this sort of thing. You're just beginning.
I hope not. No.
You're just beginning.
No. We can't be done until it's a real issue. And I thought, just to kind of grade them, I thought Hillary was, she kicked it off. I thought she was, listen, like we're on a first name basis, Hillary. Yeah. Senator Clinton, I thought she was amazing. She really, you see that she's had a lot of experience. She was very presidential. But at the same time, Senator Edwards, also huge personal connection with his wife and her situation, hugely committed. Governor Richardson, also great. Representative Kucinich was interesting. It was crazy. He was sitting there. He says, I live a great life. I'm a vegan. He goes, I'm 60. I got a 29-year-old wife. And she was in the front row, and I'm like, cool.
Yeah, great. I guess if you're going to brag about it, right?
Now let's get back to the disease. And then I thought on the Republican side, without picking a side, and I thought Governor Huckabee was spectacular. And the only other thing I'll say is it's not an easy thing to talk about. These guys talk about war and terror and immigration and education and healthcare every day, but they don't. Cancer is hard to talk about if you don't know it, and you wouldn't want to. I almost understand if they're just not prepared. You want to get up there on live TV and get grilled. You got to know it. And so that's
I
why
know
it'll
the
be good
issue.
to, but we'll be back. I mean, when we get the 2 candidates, we'll have another session and they'll be prepared and they'll talk about it.
Now, at the time or on Russert later, you were asked if you would accept an appointment as cancer czar for the country.
I sort of feel like, I'd rather be the main cheerleader. I'd rather be the guy that really talks about this disease and keeps it out there. I don't know that. There are a lot of people that are a heck of a lot smarter than me. I don't need to be the cancer czar. I have the story, I have the passion, I have the history, I have the connections, but I don't. Right. I think that'd be a little inappropriate if I were the guy. Give it to somebody that really knows the disease. And I think the head of the NCI, whoever that is essentially the czar.
Whether he's called that or not.
Whether he is or not, he is for now, he's the cancer czar.